Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Shinrin, Yoku, and Yurt Life, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, February 7th, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. We have an uptick in seismic activity underneath some big volcanoes in Iceland, including Askja, Bardarbunga, Grimsvötn, and Katla, as well as the Reykjanes Ridge. Holy macaroni, what could happen? We also have the day after tomorrow happening in China, as thousands are stranded on the highway. Keep calm. It's gonna be a boom time. How soaked is the Southern California? Well, the astonishing rainfall totals are not a 1 in 1,000-year event, but they are epic. Cogswell Dam saw 13.86 inches, Topanga Canyon 13.48, Bel Air 13.04, and you can see the totals are epic. Downtown LA saw the most rain over a 2-day period since 1956, according to the National Weather Service, adding that nearly half of the average seasonal rainfall for Los Angeles fell on Sunday and Monday alone. Holy macaroni. And remember when the alarmists were telling us that there would be an unending drought in California? Yes, well, how soon things change, including this nonsense. Category 6, climate-boosted hurricanes push scientists to rethink classification. But it's not based on any science at all. And anyone claiming that Category 6 is a thing is, not a scientist and probably pushing an agenda on you. The reality is there has been no shift in global tropical cyclone frequency or magnitude. You're looking at the 12-month running sums created by Ryan Maue, which was updated August 31st of 2023, showing you all of the global tropical cyclone frequency going back to 1970. And if anything, there is a slight shift downward in tropical storms and hurricanes overall. And global major hurricane frequency is also decreasing since the early 90s. There is zero need for Cat6 because there is no such thing. And more embarrassment coming out for Harvard. Not only was their president a plagiarist, but their science is garbage. Here, a Harvard study claims that 18 million U.S. rental units are at climate risk. I can't make this garbage up. Here's the full forecast. Flooding concerns in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands as heavy rain continues across the West Coast with high elevation snow piling up. Multiple rounds of heavy rainfall will continue to impact Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands through Thursday. Flash and urban small stream flooding as well as mudslides are possible. In the west, showers and thunderstorms are expected today, along with heavy mountain snow, and additional rainfall may lead to isolated instances of flooding. Let's take a quick look at the snowpack, shall we? And quite a recovery has happened over the last several weeks, especially in the Sierra Nevadas, with snowpack now exceeding 100% of normal, 134%, 131% respectively, 126% up near Tahoe. Good news. And we now have major adjustments to the basins with almost over half of them at or near normal, which is good news. The only areas in worry are up in the north in orange and in red, and there is more snow coming, and nobody's bumming. Let's take a look. The system is still pummeling California and the Sierras for 3, 6, another 9 hours as it bombs out a second time in the Four Corners region here, where we should pick up at least 6 inches of snow down where we are, and a total of 4 feet up at the Continental Divide, which is good news because we need the snow. By the end of the weekend, we're going to have a developing storm here in the southeast that will be significant and will bomb out here Monday, Tuesday, and take a look at how heavy that snow is for Pennsylvania and New York State moving up into New England. Holy macaroni. It's going to be a big one for Boston. As we take a look at the snowfall totals here, could be a 16-incher for many of the areas in the Catskills and Elk Mountain, perhaps, up in Pennsylvania. But you can see the snow continuing for the west. Here is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as the weekend begins. And the system is going to sprint its way across the center of the U.S. Look at that. So it's just the tail end that's going to bring snow. Maybe big totals for Oklahoma. Could be 16 inches. That would be record totals. And it's going to bomb out again in the Catskills and the northeast of Pennsylvania, where Big Boulder, the Poconos there, where I used to teach skiing as a youth before I blew out my knee. And if the models stay true, take a look at this. There's going to be record snow in Pennsylvania and the Catskills in many regions of the Northeast, with over 4 feet of snow showing up on many of the models. So hopefully that holds true, because it would be amazing. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore thinks it doesn't snow anymore. Historic snow depth records fall across China. U.S. ski resorts pounded with 7 feet in 7 days in Mammoth. Holy macaroni. Thousands of vehicles are struck on highways in China as snow snarls the Lunar New Year travel. Say that 5 times fast. Thousands of motorists are stuck on highways in central China as heavy snow snarls travel during the annual Lunar New Year holiday rush. It's so bad that people are posting AI photos of trillions of people on highways that are thousands of lanes wide, which, by the way, doesn't really exist. Yeah. Here is the real deal. Quite an impressive video indeed. It's 8 minutes long, and we won't show you the whole thing, but this is a traffic jam. Oh, we're going to get demonetized for the China music. There we go. Here is a major traffic jam as people, and here's what's interesting. A lot of these regions that get this massive snowfall, they don't have plows because it doesn't usually snow there. Grand solar minimum much, but I do digress. But what they do use is human power, and they use shovels to clear the roads. Let's move this through a little further where we can maybe see thousands. It's 8 minutes long. Everyone's stuck like Chuck. People, it's shut down. Downtown Leroy Brown. Look at these people on high overpasses just stuck there in China. It is the day after tomorrow in Hubei province, China. Okay. Seismic update. Quite a bit of activity up in Alaska today, and some interesting small level activity out in Indonesia on the Pacific Rim. We also have some interesting activity in the U.S. Yes, we've got a quake right next to Rainier. Right next to Mount Rainier today, a 3 magnitude. So maybe things are heating up in the Pacific Northwest and the Cascades, as we are long overdue for eruptions there. Back in the Dalton minimum, 7 volcanoes in the Cascades were erupting, including Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens and many others. That moves us over to the inevitable here. Ongoing magma accumulation beneath the Svartsengi-Pjöburn area. This is just the area north of Grindavik, which has erupted 3 times now, and the 4th eruption is imminent. Still increased likelihood of a new magmatic dike intrusion and ensuing volcanic eruption in the region. So buckle up, Buttercup. Reykjanes is still yellow, and the magma is still accumulating. More importantly is that, and we've reported on this for 3 years now when the eruptions began on the Reykjanes Peninsula, that historically, back in the Middle Ages, that when the Reykjanes Peninsula erupts for long durations like it has now, other major volcanic systems blow, like Astja or Bardabunga or Grimsvötn. And so many of these volcanic systems, even Katla, showing some activity today. So we've got Grimsvötn, Katla, Bardabunga, Astja, and Reykjanes all active and all a danger to Iceland. Worldwide volcano news. Liwatobi, Laki in Flores, Indonesia. Eruptive activity persists there. You see a little puff, pass. Nevado de Ruiz to 20,000 feet today. Santo Huito volcano. Eruptions continue and a glowing lava block detaches from the lava dome up there. So hopefully no one was camping nearby. Fuego to 15,000. Popo to 20,000. Reventador, 14,000 feet today. And Liwatobi, Flores, continues to erupt. Fuego to 15,000, I think 12. It's all normal. Nothing big. We're waiting for the big one. Holy macaroni. Yellowstone, did you know, emits as much carbon dioxide as an erupting volcano, and nobody's taxing it? Can't believe that. Space Weather News update. We've had some major M flares, none of them Earth-facing, none of them coming our way, and no one cares. As this large, complex sunspot faces Earth and does nothing. How do you like them apples? Let's take a look at how complex this sunspot actually is, and it is quite astonishing. Take a look at the Beta Gamma Delta. The delta is this region here pushing opposing fields on this sunspot, positive and negative, inside of each other. This should be in a very eruptive sunspot as we have positive and negative opposing and negative inside of positive. It should be flaring. There is a 15% X flare potential, but we haven't seen anything like that. And this is a very large and unique spot that should be very active, but is currently extremely quiet. We did have a moderately strong flare earlier from the departing region known as AR3575. It was an M5.1 solar flare. An R2 level radio blackout occurred with it. You can see here. And that was occurring over all of Australia. So they had some communication issues earlier today. But I do digress. None of this is headed our way, and the 3-day geomagnetic forecast is all quiet on the Western Front. Did you know, and we've done videos on this, that the Piri-Reis map is not showing Antarctica at all, especially an ice-free Antarctica. So if you didn't get the memo, it will take you just a few hours to research the Piri-Reis map and overlay South America on it to prove to yourself that the Piri-Reis map is nothing more than a map of South America and Cuba. And here, I will provide you with the proof. So stop sounding stupid, claiming otherwise. Please, get over it. Now, the situation has become appalling. Fake scientific papers push research credibility to the crisis point. Holy mackerel. Did you know last year 10,000 plus sham papers had to be retracted or redacted by academic journals? And it's so difficult for these, it's so difficult to get your paper into these journals, and yet 10,000 fake sham papers had to be retracted by academic journalists. Experts think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and our reporting over the last decade, Lee and I, and our investigation into what's going on has proven the same thing. It's all garbage, fake news and propaganda being fed to you by AI, and criminals like Michael Mann. And as far as the United States and the direction of the country is going, did you know that for years, going all the way back to, say, 2009, everyone in the country thinks the country is on the wrong track. And it couldn't be more then than now. So for decades, the entire population thinks the country has been on the wrong track. Except for a short period when Donald Trump was in office. He's had the highest ratings in decades. But I do digress. If you haven't learned yet, you're going to know now. The Great Crustal Shift Hoax, The Truth They Tried to Hide. The book by Kevin Jameson is available now for free download. We're going to leave you links below. At the Internet Archive, you can read it here for free and just turn the pages. Or you can scroll down and download the PDF for your perusal at any time. Let me know what you think of the book. And that's a boom. Well, before we go, we've also uploaded the 1984 colorized version of the 1956 film, 1984, for your full perusal. The full movie over on our Rumble channel. Go get it and learn something about our dystopian future. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do and watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free. Well, except for the Rumble content. So go subscribe at Rumble. We love you. Be safe. And that's a boom.